I actually think it wasn't because they thought it was a bad video. 30 seconds in, said nothing valuable. Like, nobody wants to see that. Hey, I'm Josh.
And I'm Laura.
And this is the Devising Good podcast, where we talk about how churches, small businesses, and nonprofits can use video to create understanding and provoke action. All right, so I listen to a lot of podcasts and watch a lot of different people on Instagram, right? And even Gary Vaynerchuk says this, just start posting, right? So I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna start posting. And so I would roll into work and I'd be a little bit early, so I'd just record something really quick that I was gonna edit later, right? Just off of my phone, super organic and just whatever. But then I went to go, so this specific time, right, I went to go edit the video and I realized I got 30 seconds into this short video without saying anything. So then I actually made that a video. I was like, wow, I said so many words, but no value. Nobody cares about what I just said.
Right.
And so I posted, I made a YouTube short video, post on Instagram and other places, but specifically with YouTube shorts, right? So and I'll put a link to it in the description, but it was a video that was basically wow, I was 30 seconds, it was just a screen recording of my computer. Wow, I'm 30, that moment when you're 30 seconds in and you realize you haven't said anything of value. It is my most watched video on YouTube Shorts.
Wait, the one where you were 30 seconds in?
The one where I'm that moment when, right?
Okay.
Because I didn't post the 30 seconds in
right,
thing.
right.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
And so I got tons more views, probably at least 10, 20 times more than any of my other YouTube short videos. And 66% of the people that hit a like or a dislike hit dislike.
Interesting.
And I was thinking about this. I actually think it wasn't because they thought it was a bad video, because every single one of my other videos is pretty spot on. People just like them, right?
Okay.
I think they hit dislike because, we don't want to see content
an agreement with you?
That's terrible that people would post, or maybe I was about ready to post something that was a short video, 30 seconds in, said nothing valuable. Nobody wants to see that. That's just more noise.
That's funny.
And so I called that video Value Takes Planning. And I think for most people, I don't know, I'm an Enneagram 4, but I think most people are like me, where they can't just say things off the cuff. Yeah. Not everybody is a Gary Vaynerchuk. Not everybody is a senior pastor somewhere who speaks for a living, who just has the things that they say.
So you're saying just posting isn't really going to cut it necessarily?
I don't think that's helpful. There's another ditch I feel people can fall into, where it's they analysis paralysis, and they don't actually ever post anything, or they over plan to the point I can even get that way with these podcasts. As I've been writing the outlines, I'm oh, who would watch that? And so I kind of get into it. I think there's a healthy amount of wrestling in order to make sure, is this actually going to be valuable for people? I'm pretty confident this will be valuable for people. You can't go into either ditch of just off the dome, just saying whatever, because you'll be like me and just fumble your words and all those things. And you can't just overplan and eventually not post anything. So I think it's just very helpful to have a plan when you're trying to give somebody something that's valuable. So kind of to like bring this together, I mean, this is a short episode because like I feel like that is the crux of everything. Value takes planning, but don't over plan. And so if you're going to give value to people, it's really important. Like I would recommend that people try actually planning. And I'm actually going to link to a kind of like a worksheet for people in the description of the video, so you can like do this for yourself if it's helpful.
Cool.
But I mean, I feel like the way I can move anything forward is using like formulas and principles when I'm thinking about like what I'm trying to communicate. So I would say ask yourself like these 3 questions. 1, who am I talking to? It's just like, even if you know, like, it's just really helpful to remind yourself. And actually, if you're not nonprofits, this is actually probably more tricky because they usually have 3 audiences.
Oh, wow.
They have the people they're serving. They have people they want to come either work with them or volunteer with them. And then they have donors. And so figure out, who are you talking to with what you're trying to say?
That makes sense.
Then think about, okay, what would make their life better? Not just what do you want to say, what do you think would actually make their life better? So put yourself in their shoes for a second. What's something they don't know or something you want to remind them of that would actually be helpful? And then what are some concise, catchy ways to share whatever your main points are, or that like epiphany moment you want people to have? Like, what's something catchy? So the thing I want people to remember from this is value takes planning. And don't over plan. So what I would recommend is people writing things out. If you are anything like me and you fumble over your words, like even in this podcast, I'm not a professional speaker, right? I would say write it out. Use a teleprompter. There's many great teleprompter apps, or just write sticky notes, or if you're doing a podcast like this, have some notes in front of you that you can read, especially those main points, because if there's a specific way you're wanting to say something, like make sure you have that down. So write it out, use a teleprompter or notes in front of you, and then whatever you need to do to stay on that plan, because when you follow the plan, you're much more likely to deliver on the value. Thanks so much for watching.
Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you can get notified when new episodes come out.
And if you have any questions, you can click the link in the description to submit your questions. And if we feel like we have anything helpful to say, we'll include it in a future episode.